Wordly Wise, Level 5, Lesson 12. Passage. A child of the revolution. Frida Kahlo was born in Coyoacán, just outside Mexico City, in 1907. Her parents probably thought her life would develop much as the lives of other girls of that time. The Mexican dictator, Porfirio Diaz, had been governing for almost 30 years. Under his rule, women were restricted from taking any part in public life. Furthermore, Frida's parents gave her and her 3 sisters a strict Catholic upbringing. The girls were expected to be obedient daughters and to become good Catholic wives and mothers. But in 1910, when Frida was 3 years old, everything changed in Mexico. The people overthrew Diaz and established a much more open government. The new government speedily set about making many changes that were long overdue. Education and health care became more widely available. More significantly for Frida Kahlo's future, the new government set out to stimulate interest in the arts by supporting the work of Mexican artists. Her 3 sisters were largely unaffected by these changes, but Frida, who was the rebellious one, took part in them. She seemed to enjoy shocking people. One of the ways she did this was to go about wearing men's clothes. She was a firm supporter of the 1910 revolution. As an adult, she claimed to have been born that year, so that she could call herself a child of the revolution. Her Mexican mother and German father must have despaired of her at times. They couldn't have known that their lively daughter would grow up to become one of Latin America's most notable painters. Frida Kahlo had a difficult childhood. At the age of 6, she contracted polio. That left her with a weakened right leg. Then, in her late teens, she suffered terrible injuries when she was thrown from a bus onto a metal spike. The spike penetrated her side, almost killing her. While she convalesced, she began to paint. This was a way of taking her mind off of the severe pain, from which she was seldom free for the rest of her life. Many of her paintings are self-portraits. In them she often included the parrots, monkeys, and other pets whose company gave her so much pleasure. Despite their bold, bright colors, however, the paintings clearly express the pain that lies behind them. Kahlo's art was her way of inviting the viewer to share her suffering. She first met her future husband, the painter Diego Rivera, in 1922, when she was 15. They married 7 years later. He was twice her age and already a world-famous artist. The marriage was a tempestuous one, with many separations, a divorce, and later a remarriage. They both had strong personalities and each found the other exasperating to live with. Nevertheless, their love was strong and deep. Rivera appears frequently in her paintings. Toward the end of her life, they lived together in the house where she was born, Casa Azul, the Blue House. After Kahlo's death in 1954, Rivera gave it to the people of Mexico. Now known as the Frida Kahlo Museum, it is dedicated to her life and work.